Bonfire!
Hi, I'm Matt Sen and welcome to Fitness Central. Tonight is a real treat and one for the fighting fans. We have professional fighters that have moved from the ring to the big screen. So tonight we're joined by 2 times kickboxing world champion Waine Turner and the man Mike Tyson proclaims to be the toughest white man on the planet, ex-professional boxer Big Joe Egan. Now, before we bring out our guests, don't forget we've got the Fitness Central Time Trial Championships. Now, don't forget Mark Holborn actually joined us in the studio last week and took the title off Orland Jackman. Let's see if one of our guests can take the title off Mark tonight. Without further ado, let's bring out our guests.
Bonfire!
Gentlemen, welcome to Fitness Central. Nice to meet you. How are you?
All good, man.
So, Matt,
Big Joe.
thank you.
Thanks for joining us tonight. How are you?
I'm all good, man. I'm all good.
Good stuff. Happy to be here?
Say again?
Happy to be here?
Of course, man. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. I've got good surroundings, Big Joe and you, so it's all good, man. Definitely.
Fantastic. Thanks for joining us. Really, really appreciate it. So, what we want to do is we'll start with you, Waine. For the people at home, you're a kickboxer. Your background's kickboxing. But there's a bit of a twist to this because you actually won your first title at 40 years old.
My first world title, yeah, because I started from traditional Kung Fu. Long story short, when I was a kid, a lot of things wrong with me. I was brought up in Aldershot. My dad was in the army, he was a parachuter. So then I left to come to Birmingham when I was about 2 or 3. But I had a lot of things wrong with me. The doctor said I won't be able to ride a bike or swim like normal kids. I used to pass out all the time. I used to stutter. I used to be a really sickly kid, man. So as I got older, I learned to look after myself and I went to Aston Manor, which is school at Hard Knocks. So I've always been fighting all my life. I've done a bit of boxing, a little bit of karate. So when I was 19, I started to do traditional Kung Fu. So from there, I thought straight away I had a fight after last month, my first month, training with the Aston Black Dragons, Vincent Lewis, Vincent McCullum. So from there, I've done the amateur side. I was like 4 times national grand champion teams, 3 times national grand champion continuous fighter. I was amateur. I got bronze medal at amateur world championships where I got this watch from in full contact, and then I went professional. I was 2-time British champion, European champion. Number 1 contender for the world title for 2 years. Couldn't get a shot. My last 2 fights I got caught. I got stopped on cuts. So I was getting fed up with it. So I retired in 2002. Then I made it. I done a shot put. Then I ended up being a swimming instructor, a lifeguard. I've done triathlon. So that proves the doctor's wrong straight away. So I was always proving people wrong when I was younger.
Was that your main drive when people say you can't go any further, trying to push past that barrier?
When I was young, I always wanted to prove people wrong.
Yeah.
And now I don't. I prove myself what I can do because you can do anything in life. And that's
So tell me about this, Joe. I think you'd imagine this to be fantastic as well. 40 years old, first world title. 48, second world title. That is pretty much a testament to show that doesn't matter what age you are. You know, anything's possible, of course.
He's like the Bernard Hopkins of kickboxing.
Isn't he just?
He's indeed.
You know what?
You know.
Thank you very much, Joe. I wish I was.
No, you are. You're a major achiever, and you know something. You're an inspiration to people, Waine, because like age is just a number, and especially with people like you, it is. You know, so you can inspire a lot of people with.
There's a lot of people that we tend to find where they turn around and say, "Oh, I'm too old now to start getting into something new."
People at 30 said they're too old. Age don't mean nothing. So I started late. I started when I was 19, really, and I kept fighting. So then I made a comeback when I was 38. People said I was too old. I won the world title at 40.
Yeah.
Then I defended it, and then I lost when I was 42 against a guy who was 21.
Yeah.
Then I retired. Then I started acting from there, doing a bit of acting and all that stuff. But then I'm the coach now for the England team.
Oh, wow.
And in kickboxing, you can do both, professional and amateur.
Yeah.
So I was professional world champion. And then now I'm coaching, I started sparring everybody and goes, why don't you fight? So I talked to the guy, he said, you can't fight in the ring because you're world champion. Yeah. You can fight in the match, which is like contact, which I was British champion on. So I fought that and I've just won it now, so I'm world champion again.
Well done. Massive.
I think I'll get my coat and go home. I can't follow
that. He said, I'm getting all the signal when he talks.
I can't follow that.
Well, you've got your title there, haven't you?
Yeah, so this is this is the
beautiful
professional
belt.
world. It's really nice, like the boxing one, isn't it? Yeah, it's
beautiful.
like the boxing one.
That looks a bit too heavy to hold your pants up, that.
Oh, it is. Tell it. So I've got like two Europeans and world, and I can't carry them too heavy. So I'm glad I've just won this one. This is the world champ I've just won. In
You can hold
Portugal.
that around,
I can put this in my pocket.
Yeah, there you go.
So
Yeah.
this is sweet. So this one I've just won in May. It's in Portugal.
Well, massive
They're beautiful,
congratulations.
Waine.
Well
Fair play
done.
to you, pal.
Yeah. So, Joe, let's get straight on to you then. So, you're prolifically known for being Mike Tyson's sparring partner, and the man himself actually proclaimed you to be the toughest white man on the planet. How did this all come about?
I'll just clarify that. We were sparring one day, and there was 4 white sparring partners, which was unusual because normally there would be some black guys as well.
Yeah.
But this particular day there was 4 white sparring partners, and he knocked 3 of them out. I was number 4. I got battered from pillar to post, but he never put me down.
So just
And
before, you just watched 3 people get knocked out.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts before getting in?
Well, I ruined a good pair of underpants that
Yeah.
day. So he knocked 3 out before me, and I was number 4, and I got battered, but he never put me down. And at the end of the spar, Mike said, Joe Egan is the toughest white man on the planet. Far from it. I was the toughest white man in the gym that day. It's a nice compliment from somebody like
Isn't
Mike
it
Tyson.
just?
But I just want to say something. Every man that climbs into, and woman,
Yeah.
climbs into the ring, dreams about becoming a champion of the world. I wasn't good enough. I fought lots of world champions. But for this man to win 2 world titles, that's some major achievement, Mike.
Yeah.
You know, to win it once is a major
Isn't
achievement.
it
To win
just?
it twice is really, really fantastic, pal.
Well,
And he's my friend, so I'm chuffed to bits, like, you know,
Well, I
because
appreciate
I'm
that
so
so much.
happy for him. I really am so happy
well,
for
the
him.
thing is, it shows that you can do anything in life,
Yeah.
and I believe I'm not even half my age. I've got so much things. I'm 48 now. I don't feel that. I think I'm just do so much things and so much things I want to do. So that's just the start of what I'm doing.
Well, they do say you're only as old as the person you're feeling, so to say, don't they?
Yeah.
So,
The person you're hitting.
you're that one.
You're a 21-year-old, so there you go. But
So, what got you into boxing? How did it all work?
the bullies started me with the
Right.
boxing. I experienced a lot of bullying when I was a kid. My dad worked on the building sites in England, and we came over from Ireland as a family to visit my dad. And I got bullied in England because I had the Irish accent.
Yeah.
So I picked up the English accent. And when I went home to Dublin, I got bullied in Dublin because I had the English accent.
Yeah.
All my years boxing, I only ever had 1 tooth knocked out. I got 2 teeth knocked out by the bullies. The day I made my Holy Communion in Manchester, I was going around with my Holy Communion medal and going around visiting people and trying to collect a few bob. You get some money the day you make Holy Communion. And 2 bully boys tried to take my Holy Communion medal and held on to my medal and exposed my front teeth, and they knocked out my front teeth.
No.
So I learned, you know, from a young age, you know, how to defend myself. And I went to the judo classes, I went to the karate classes, I went to the boxing classes, and I wasn't good at judo and I wasn't good at karate, and I sort of took to the boxing, and they gave me the confidence to stand up against the bully boys. And I got 4 younger sisters and 2 younger brothers. So after I'd get beaten by the bullies, they were going to start on my brothers and sisters. So I used to jump in and take a double beating so they wouldn't hit my brothers and sisters. So I got to absorb punishment. I got used to absorbing punishment. So I was like a sponge. I could soak it up. So when I was in the boxing ring, I could absorb the punishment. And you know something? The boxing ring was quite safe because there was only 1 man hitting me.
Yeah.
The bullies used to hit me in a game,
Yeah.
and had a referee, and then you got a break, and you had a cornerman looking after you, the best of medical care at ringside. So to me, the boxing ring really, well, even though people like Mike Tyson and Lennox Lewis was hitting me, it was really
What
a
is
safe
it
haven
like
against the
to
bullies.
be hit by those type of people? I think I read
Very
somewhere.
painful, very painful.
I think I read somewhere that Mike Tyson's left hook was the equivalent to a 5-mile-an-hour sledgehammer.
Well, I can tell you it was a hard punch, but he's a nice guy outside of the ring. But when he's in the ring, every punch he throws is with bad intentions. He wants to hurt you. He made me cry lots of times. He hurt me lots of times, and he made me cry lots of times. But we've been friends 32 years. I've been all over the world with him.
Yeah.
I've had him in Dublin 3 times visiting my mum.
That's right,
and,
yeah.
You know, it's great. That's the boxing first and foremost. Well, not just boxing, karate, kickboxing, any full contact form of fighting. First and foremost gives you self-respect, and then it gives you respect for another person.
Yeah.
And that's the great thing about fighters. They've got so much mutual respect amongst each other. And
Do you feel it kind of brings you into a community? Because you tend to find,
is.
for example, you two have got different sports, but you get along so well because you've automatically got that respect for each other. It's kind of a community, isn't it, that you bring together?
it is. It's a band of brothers, and now with the women, sisters as well.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. The thing is, it's like acting as well. A lot of people want to act, but they can't act. A lot of people want to fight, but they can't fight.
Yeah.
So once you get in that ring, you respect anybody that gets in that ring.
Yeah.
And that's like life, innit, you know what I mean?
Well, boxing, to me, is the greatest sport in the world, you know, and I'm biased being an ex-fighter. But I've, like I said, I have so much respect for all other forms of fighting. But boxing was the first sport of the Olympics, you know, and in the Acropolis before the Olympics even started, they used to box. And fighters are like modern day gladiators. Years ago, they'd get into the arena and they'd fight to the death. Now they don't have to fight to the death. They just fight till the fight's over and there's a victor. And it's the best entertainment, really, you know, because all the other sports, you ask any athlete in the world, whether it be a soccer player, a swimmer, a gymnast, they've all got so much respect for the fighters.
Well, I want to see you both in action, but before we do, we're going to go for a quick commercial break. On the other side, we're going to see you both in action, so the people at home can see well, the people that are sitting in front of me right now. So guys, don't go anywhere if you want to see these guys in action, and don't forget we've got the Fitness Central Time Trial Championships. See you in 3.
Bonfire!
Hi and welcome back to Fitness Central. Now we're joined this evening by kickboxing world champion Waine Turner and ex-professional boxer Big Joe Egan. So for the guys at home that missed the first half, let's see these guys in action.
Too small. It is temporary to find new place.
Who are you? I'm just a match winner.
So guys, I'll ask you a few more questions. Now you've both moved from the ring to the big screen. How did this come about?
Oh, with me, when I retired the first time, I was teaching these drama kids, and they told the agent about me, and the agent came up to me, he goes, "You look like Billy Jones." So he goes, "I can get you movies, but don't do no acting, don't do no drama." So I went back into fighting, so I did, and he got me some really good parts, Mutant Chronicles, Frontland. I kept missing out on them. So I thought, oh, no, I need to do this properly. So no, when I retired the second time, 2008, I went to drama school, class at drama. And from there, I started to do, been in Doctors, Survivors, Merlin, Hustle. So I've been in all them ones. And I've done 3 movies at the moment. I haven't done as much movies as this guy here, but I've done a few movies at the moment. I've done Sacrilege, which won a movie and best actor and drama award in Black Movie Awards. Anja and Anjan, that won award. And Glory Hunter, that won awards. So all the 3 movies I've done won awards.
Well done. Fantastic, Joe.
I acted my way through a boxing career.
Yeah.
Cass Pennant, I met Cass at a dinner show, tribute to Joe Fraser and Marvis Fraser, God rest Joe. And I got to meet Cass and we spoke about a book, and he got a book written for me by Ronald Graham, God rest Ronald as well, he's dead. And Mike Tyson launched the book in Canary Wharf, and Cass gave me a part in his film, the Cass film. And when I was on the film set, I met Tamer Hassan, the actor, and he took a shine to me. He said, "Joe, you got a good presence on screen." He said, "My agent could do something with you. Do you fancy giving the acting a go?" I said, "Well, I did a couple of adverts when I was boxing in Ireland. There was a big fish in a small pond. I did a Lions Teabag ad and a Murphy Stout ad. And I don't drink tea and I don't drink beer. I'm an Irish man that doesn't drink alcohol.
And tea.
And yeah, I don't drink whatever the tea, but...
PG
so I did them.
Thanks, both of us.
You know, so he gave me an introduction to his agent. His agent sent me along for the first Sherlock Holmes film to play a character called McMurdo, was to fight Robert Downey Jr. I did the casting, give an intimidating stare into the camera lens, and the casting agent said, "Well, you got an amazing intimidating stare." I said, "Well, I've had to look into the eyes of Mike Tyson and Lennox Lewis and try and intimidate them." To intimidate a couple of casting agents, no problem. So I got that part. I went along to a read-through in Claridge's. My nameplate, Joe Egan, next to Jude Law, Robert Downey Jr., sitting opposite Guy Ritchie, Joel Silver, the CEO of Warner Brothers. It was so surreal. And the guy said, "Joe, I've been trying to get you in one of my films for a long time." I said, "You're joking." And Robert Downey Jr. leaned in, he goes, "Joe, you come with a fearsome reputation." I couldn't believe that these people even knew me, but they knew Tyson and they associated me with Tyson, which was amazing. We travelled in the minibus to do the practice fight. And Guy said, "How are things, Joe?" I said, "Things are okay, Guy, I'm making ends meet." He said, "Has your agent told you what you're getting for the fight scene?" I said, "Guy, I never even asked. I'm just so honoured to be in your film." when he told me, it was more than I got in any of my professional fights. And I was deadly serious, man. I said, Guy, for that money, I said, Robert Downey Jr. can really hit me. You can kick me as well if you want to. And he took a fit of laugh and he said, Joe, I don't want you being beaten up. I said, Guy, I've been beaten up for a lot less. I'll do a few weeks in hospital for that money. And then he didn't give me the fight scene. I didn't need to get beaten up. I got a part in the film, in the prison scene, where I get called my own name. I get called Big Joe by an Academy Award winning actor in a Warner Brothers movie, directed by Guy Ritchie.
Amazing.
And you know something? It's made all the beatings that I've took, and I've took some savage beatings over the years, and it's made them all worthwhile because it's made my mum and dad so proud.
You say that's probably the single most precious moment in your sort of professional career?
The best moment I've ever had in my boxing career was probably winning my first, well, it was not probably, it was winning my first Irish boxing title, because that was, like, to me, Ireland was my little world, and I won the Irish title, so I was like a world champion as such. But like I said earlier on, every fighter dreams, but I wasn't good enough to be a world champion. Every fighter that climbs into the ring dreams about it. But to win an Irish title was amazing. I won it 7 times, but to get called my own name in a movie, get called Big Joe, it's just the icing on the cake. It just tops it all, you know. It does really.
Have you? What's been your highlight of your acting career?
Acting career. Well, I was in Survivors. It was a TV series. I beat up Max Breesley.
Yeah.
And when I beat him up, he let me do my own fight scene on him.
Oh wow.
So that was sweet. And when I was in Hustle, I was Martin Kemp's bodyguard.
Oh wow. Okay.
So them 2 little ones, that was nice.
I did a hustle as well. I did.
Yes,
I done one hustle with Robert Vaughan, and then I got to film with Robert on a movie called The Magnificent 11. Yeah. And what a great guy! What a great guy! Yeah. One of my favourite films is The Magnificent 7, and he is one of the Magnificent 7.
He's really quiet now because he's old, isn't he? But
he's a gentleman, an absolute gentleman.
What's been your funniest moment? A moment that's made you laugh more than anything?
I've got loads of them, man. I've got loads of them.
One single one that points out very, very quickly.
I could show you so many different ones, man. I had this one that happened to me yesterday. I work with Chinese Black Dragon kickboxing school. Chris McDonald do seminars for him, but we're gonna blend, because I got my own format, CFT, Championship Fitness Fight Training. We're gonna blend together. He had a fight yesterday, and he won area title. And this guy is really funny. His name Ollie, and we was ready to go out. And I said, "We don't go out yet. Wait for the music." So we come out to it. Everybody was kung fu fighting. So I said, "When you go out to that, but not the first one." So he started walking out. Don't go out yet. And he just walked out, hands like this and everything. And he just stood there waiting for us to come out. And everybody just looked. What's he doing? It was so funny. It was so funny. And he just stood there, and he's just a nice person, because he don't realise anything was going on. So yeah, that was.
The funniest thing for me is a lot of the parts that I get to play, like it's the tough guy roles. Yeah. You know, I get to play the gangster roles or the tough guy roles. I don't think they're ever going to give me a love scene, so I'm happy with I'm happy with the tough guy roles.
Mr. Lover, Big Joe.
Yeah, but my 2 nephews, my 2 5- and 6-year-old nephews, Vinny and Alfie. Vinny and Alfie, yeah, they're my 2 nephews, and they hear people talking about me being a tough guy, and every time they sort of watch me in the films or the TV, they see me getting beaten up and killed. And I did a TV series called The Game. I was in episode 5 with Brian Cox and Craig Conway and Tom Hughes, some big stars. Yeah. And I get knocked out. I get knocked out with a bag. And both of them were sitting on the sofa, and they said to their mammy, they said, "Mammy, Joe's meant to be a tough guy, and he got knocked out with a bag." When I got told that, it was comical, you know, because a 5- and a 6-year-old, they don't know any difference. They just think it's real. Yeah. You know, they're watching it on film and they think it's real. You know.
Well, you guys have been hit by, and if not, some of the toughest guys on the planet. So I want to see how fast you guys can get around the laps. So early on, we challenge you guys to complete a number of laps on the Fitness Central Time Trial Championships to get on the leaderboard. So let's see how you guys get on. Bonfire!
cars are too small for me. They don't make cars in man size. So I couldn't fit into the car.
So the winner then, by default, is our very own Waine Turner.
You know what I've done? I paid him before, you see.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, because at the moment I don't drive a car, and the last time I drove a gold car, I crashed it when I was 10. So
I'm so glad you didn't crash it this time.
yeah, I know, yeah.
You done all right today? You done okay today?
So I'll tell you what, I've got one final question for you. I think you're going to like this one. It's one that I've asked plenty of times when I was back in my management days, and it's a great way to sort of people to find out your personality and your character. So the question is, if you were a cartoon character, who would you be and why so? Who best resembles you as a person?
Right, you asking first?
Let's go for you, Wayne.
If you ask other people, that's all say different things. But I'd say Johnny Bravo.
Fred Flintstone. I loved the Flintstones.
Yeah.
And when they made the movie, John Goodman played Fred.
Goodman, yes, yeah.
John Goodman played Fred in the film. I grew up. Oh, I loved him. And Barney and Wilma. Flintstones. Meet the Flintstones. They're the modern Stone Age family.
Give us your best yabba dabba do.
Yabba dabba doo.
So that leads us on to tonight's giveaway. How would you guys at home like to win these fantastic prizes? A prom mix shaker signed by these guys, along with a canvas signed by Big Joe Egan. What you've got to do is simply log onto our Twitter and tell us what cartoon character you would be and why, hashtagging #cartoonme. Now the winner will be selected at random and picked and advertised on Monday.